there were two things at play. One was uh, it very much started grassroots. The infrastructure team at GitHub is one of the best in the world, as you might imagine, and they were underwater. They were frankly just it was we were growing too fast on one side of the fence, and we weren't actually investing enough on that side. And they said, we this is how we're going to get in front of this. And they did a great job of forward thinking and what to do. And then on the other side was we tried to keep the speed up as much as possible, but we had a couple of missteps and a couple of breaks, and they made us realize that we didn't have what I would call say this the safety mechanisms in place. They allowed us to go off path too often. And the truth is that we had grown past the point of a single monolithic Rails application being able to be deployed to a single monolithic database cluster. It didn't work. That is not the way the world worked for us anymore. And when you take into other concerns too, like security or things of that nature, or logging or auditing, then you start to realize that there is too much that's happening for any one person to really be fully concerned about the entirety of those concerns. And it would be foolhardy for us to think anything different. So from a numbers driven perspective, I didn't do any real analysis. And I admit, I had the luxury. There was no, this was before we were acquired by Microsoft that we started to develop this. And at the time, I was in charge of all of GitHub. I was the CTO in name, but we did not have an active CEO at the time. And so I was able to just make the call to do it. And so, I had some luxury, but had I needed to make the case, I would have done headcount analysis and saying, we're able to get away with X now if we do this investment, but we're going to require Y, or X, times 3 if we don't, and to do this from a human scale perspective. And the other side of the fence too is just how fast we could possibly go. There's no way to do real analysis on that, but we would have slowed down and become as organizations grow, they become much more mediocre in speed. And if you really care about that, this is one of those investments you make.